going on YouTube? It's Brandon Relkam here with a brand new cassette collection video. First one I've done in just about a year. During this video I will be playing Airstrike's Power in Your Hand full-length album in the background. This is a album from a Polish metal band that combines heavy metal with thrash metal. So I hope you enjoy this album. Let's get right into it. Kicking things off, we've got The Awake of Ascendant Darkness from Old Coven. Old Coven is a blackened thrash metal band out of California that has been recommended as being similar to Influenza from Sweden. So, this was originally put out back in, I want to say 2018, and what I'm holding right here is a reissue limited edition cassette from 2020 that was put out by Nick Cruz Records. So, for fans of Influenza, this is something for you to check out. Up next is another fine slab of blackened thrash metal. This right here is Bestial Possession's debut demo. Bestial Possession is a blackened thrash metal band out of Peru, and they've been recommended as being similar to Sarcophago. I'm a big fan of Sarcophago, so I am definitely going to have a lot of fun cranking this cassette. This was originally put out in 2008. I'm pretty sure this is a first pressing, but you never know. I'm sure it is, and that'd be pretty cool. Right here, we've got The Gates of Hell from Influenza. This was a thrash metal band that I played in. This was recorded during a rehearsal on, let's see, this was recorded, the first track was recorded on April 2nd, 2022, and the 3 tracks to follow that were recorded October 26th, 2022. So yeah, it's a nice little rehearsal recording. This is only for my personal collection. This is not planned to ever be released anytime soon to the public, so yeah, just something fun for my own collection. This was, what did I dub this over? I dubbed this over a cassette from a musician by the name of Patty Page. And this cassette was called Her Greatest Hits and Finest Performances. And now, it's an Influenza rehearsal tape. Lighting's kind of making this difficult, but it says Influenza, The Gates of Hell on the label. In my hands, I've got a cassette copy of Iron Maiden's self-titled debut album. Funny thing is, this cassette was supposed to be featured in the cassette collection video I put out just about last year now, and I forgot to grab it, but now I'm showing it off in all of its glory. I love this album. I have a hard time choosing between this album and Killers as to which is my favorite Paul Di'Anno era Iron Maiden album. I definitely say I root towards this album a little bit more, but once again, it's a very hard decision. This has so many great tracks on it, like Running Free, Phantom of the Opera, the classic instrumental piece called Transylvania, and of course, the band's self-titled song, which is one of my favorites from Iron Maiden. So what I have right here is a mixtape that I got from somebody. I did a mixtape exchange. I don't even remember where it was now, but it is titled "We Are All Dogs in God's Car." That's a pretty interesting title, and it's described as being a mix with metal, death, melodic, gaze, and ambient. So there's a mix of stuff on here. The cover art right here is a painting by none other than Francis Bacon. I recognized it because a band called Abuse, which is one of my favorite bands, used a Francis Bacon painting for their second full-length album called Knee Deep in the Negative. So I was really surprised to see a Francis Bacon painting get used on a mixtape. This has a, as I said, has a variety of stuff on it, and I've got the track list on a separate piece of paper right here. Let's see. I know there's an Avatar song on here, among a lot of other acts that I am not really familiar with. So, yes, this cassette will give me a chance to check out some new stuff. The mixtape I sent out to the person who sent me this was packed with metal. It was, I remember there being some Cannibal Corpse on there. I think there was some Mantis on there, Acid Bath. May have been also some Razor. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yes, I had a lot of fun making that mixtape and receiving this in return. Back to the thrash metal stuff. Here is a cassette copy of Electrocutioner's False Idols album. If you've been following my YouTube channel for a while now, you would have seen that I had featured a cassette from Electrocutioner way back when, and it was the False Idols demo. It was demo versions of a couple songs off of this album, and it also had a cover of Venom's Buried Alive on top of a few synth interludes. But now, here's the full-length album. This is an album that I would recommend to fans of Cruel Force, Toxic Holocaust, Midnight, and I'll say Sodom as well. So, Electrocutioner is thrash metal with a blackened edge. From New York, pure heavy metal. Check it out. This last cassette that I'll be showcasing is a bonus for this video simply because I had already showcased it. It was actually in the video that I put out last year that was supposed to have the Iron Maiden cassette, but at the time it did not have an accompanying case and J card. This right here is the mixtape of G.G. Allin songs that I created and showcased a year ago. As I said, it now has a case and a J card that I made myself, and I'm really happy with how it is. Really happy with how it turned out. You know, here's the original cassette from the video I put out. This is a snapshot that I took from a video of, I think it was a court hearing that Gigi found himself in back in 1990. And I thought this was such a sick capture of him, and I knew I had to use it for the J-card art. And I remember, I think it was 3 years ago now, I had showcased a cassette copy of AC/DC's Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, and it was the same situation with this. Did not have a J card or a cassette case with it, and I plan to get that for that cassette. So that AC/DC cassette might be featured again in a future video as a bonus, just like this. So that concludes it for this cassette collection video. Thrash on.